Good evening, it's meteorologist DT with the video podcast for Tuesday evening, 9:30 p.m., 10 p.m., December 5, 2017. And here we're going to be talking about the impending event coming up here this weekend, a very relatively minor event, but the first snow for much of a good portion of the Mid-Atlantic region and southern New England, perhaps, and then potential events down the road. And so this is a pretty good warm up here to exercise your winter weather forecasting skills. I got so much to show here. Instead of doing the audio, I decided to do a brief video. This here is the radar. As of 9:45, you can see the IntelliCast radar here. The cold front moving through very nicely, and the rain has now reached Richmond, central, eastern Virginia, into Pennsylvania, New York, and New England, right around this way. And the cold air is racing behind it. Just in case you did not know, earlier yesterday on Monday, December 4, Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, 70 degrees. This afternoon, 15 degrees. Yeah, that's a cold front. That's a cold front. So this thing means business. Here's your latest surface map. There's the front moving through rapidly, and very cold temperatures behind the front. Again, the morning low temperatures. There's not a lot of snow cover, behind the front over the Midwest of the Plain States, so the air does still warm up fairly quickly. All right, let's take a look at this event coming up for Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday morning. This first image here shows our dew points and our temperatures. So let's get the marker out so we can see what we're talking about here. Now this is dew points. See that? And this here is temperatures. Now, this is Friday at 7 a.m. So let's look at Richmond's temperatures. The dew point's 25, the temperature is 35. That means when the precipitation saturates, it's right around 32, 33 degrees. Charlottesville's 21 with a temperature of 30. Roanoke is 29 degrees with a dew point of 17, which is a pretty big gap. I mean, a lot of dry air. And look at the dry air just on the West Virginia border. Look how dry the air is here. Very cold and pretty dry air. So that's the nature of the Arctic air mass coming up. But we have the moisture coming up in this direction, so that's also helping things. Greensboro is 22 with a dew point, a temperature of 35. Raleigh has a temperature of 40, dew point 25. And in Hampton Roads, it's 42 degrees, a dew point of 36, well above freezing there. So it's one of the reasons why it's going to be mostly rain for them. Now, this here is the upper air map, what happens. Now, feature A on the left-hand side, that's the peak of energy, which is going to cause Friday night into Saturday. Feature B on the left-hand side, this feature, is going to cause the snow showers on Saturday afternoon, right there. So after feature A moves off the coast, this one swings around and comes up, which is what it does here. And that's why we'll get additional snow showers for Western Virginia, the Shenandoah Valley, West Virginia, Western Maryland, that sort of thing, Pennsylvania mountains. All right, now, this is a schematic. This is a picture of what things will look like on Friday morning at 1 o'clock. Now, the purple line represents the rain snow line, 1 mile above the ground. That's at 850 millibars. And that's where the rain snow line begins, looking 1 mile above the ground. So everything north of this is snow. Everything south of this is rain. Now, wait a second. That's Norfolk right there. That means it's snowing in Norfolk. No. Because that's just 1 mile above the ground. You have to be cold enough from 1 mile above the ground all the way down to the ground to get snow. Okay? And that's not what happens. This is the 32-degree line, approximately. So while Richmond may be 35 degrees, Norfolk is probably 40. Raleigh's probably 39 or 40, and so on and so forth. So, you have to be cold enough at all levels of the atmosphere. So that's the precipitation and rain coming up from the south at 1 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the evening, here's the weak low pressure area. It's not a big deal. This is a kind of an overrunning event, folks. And you can see the northern edge of the precipitation. So if you haven't read the scale, this green stuff right here, the beginning of the green, that's the dark gray is 1/10 of an inch, it's 1/15 of an inch. So, and the blue stuff, that's almost a 1/2 inch in here. So this is pretty light stuff here. And you can see it's just approaching, it's pushed north of Norfolk, approaching, it's in Williamsburg and approaching Richmond, Virginia. To the north, once you get north of Fredericksburg, nothing's falling. Once you get up by Roanoke, nothing is falling by 7 o'clock. A lot of precip in North Carolina, but a lot of it's also rain. Now, this is 7 o'clock Friday. Let's look at the temperatures. Now, again, the dew point is on the left. The surface temperature is on the right. So, Richmond, Virginia, right here, Okay, 34 degrees, dew point 30, temperature 34 degrees. They have saturated, which means Richmond is probably snowing at that point, or rain and snow mixed. Now, DC is 35 with a dew point of 27. So the precip up in DC has probably not begun or just beginning at that point, and they're cold enough for snow. Charlottesville, 25 dew point, temperature 35. That gives you a wet bulb around 31 degrees, which is all snow. Roanoke, Virginia, 28 degrees, dew point temperature 33. If they saturate and they get precipitation, that's all snow. Raleigh is 34 degrees, dew point 34. That's probably rain snow mixed. Greensboro, dew point 31, temperature 34. That could be all snow. So it's changing over 7 o'clock Friday morning. I mean, it's 7 o'clock Friday evening. This is 11 p.m. Friday evening. Again, the purple line is the rain snow line 1 mile above the ground. And the blue line is the temperature at the ground, 32 degrees. So 11 p.m. Friday, the 32 degree line is just to the west of Richmond and over Charlottesville, Lynchburg, and approaching Greensboro, as you can see. So Raleigh's probably mixed. Richmond is probably mixed going over to snow. Notice the blue line is pushed up towards Norfolk and down towards Franklin and that sort of areas, Rocky Mountain, that sort of stuff. So that's all rain. Everything south of this purple line, this is all rain in here. Rain, 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 rain. In here, you know, it's cold enough aloft, but the temperature is the ground. And once you get up in here, it's mostly snow and this sort of stuff. And the snow is pushed into the Delmarva as well. All right, that's 11 p.m. Friday evening. Saturday, 1 o'clock in the morning, there's our low pressure area. You can see the precip is pushed up towards Richmond. Pretty good precip in Hampton Roads, as you can see, Williamsburg, up towards Salisbury, Wallops Island. And then again, very light stuff out towards Roanoke and Lynchburg, up to Charlottesville, maybe D.C. But once you go west of Roanoke, you don't see anything. Southwest Virginia is completely dry here. The mountains of western North Carolina getting very close. All right. Now, this is 7 a.m. Saturday morning. And you can see here that the precip is still continuing, stretching across eastern North Carolina, Hampton Roads, the Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck into the Delmarva. And it's just up towards Richmond, Virginia. Once you go west of Richmond, the precip drops off significantly. And now this is Saturday, 7 a.m. Now, this tells us a lot. Here is the rain snow line. The purple line is the rain snow line at 850 millibars, again, which is 1 mile above the ground, 1 mile up. Okay, so this is all potentially snow, even into Hampton Roads. The problem is that low-level temperatures are still in the mid and upper 30s. So it's not snow, it's rain in Hampton Roads. It's rain down here in eastern North Carolina. Along this area, it's all snow. So Richmond's probably snow. Lynchburg, Greensboro is all snow. It's snowing in Salisbury, Maryland at this point. In Dover, Atlantic City, New Jersey, it's snowing. And if we look at the temperatures at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, Richmond temperature of 30, we can see this, 33 degrees, dew point 33 degrees, that's snow. Charlottesville, 30, the dew point's 27, dropping. Look at the dew point at Roanoke, 13, temperature 28. The snow is shut off completely in Roanoke, if it reaches there at all, 7 a.m. Saturday morning before then, long before then. Greensboro, 32 dew point, a temperature of, yeah, and also 32 degrees right there. So same sort of thing. Raleigh is 32 degrees here, I should say, and a dew point of 32. So there you go. All in this area in here is where the best snow is probably going to fall, in this whole area in here. That's where the best snow is going to fall in here as well. So just up to the south side of Richmond, and then, you know, South Hill, South Boston, Nottoway, Dinwiddie, Farmville, all the areas are going to see the good snow down towards Greensboro. Again, this good snow is a relative term here, folks. This is not a big deal we're looking at. Now, the snowfall amount forecast. This is the enhanced bullshit from, and you can see the enhanced snow amounts here. Again, this grouping, this version of the European snow map sees sleet and for mixed precipitation as same thing as snow. And of course, that's not correct at all. That's bullshit. Now, this is much more realistic. This is the Kuchera snow algorithm, and you can see 2 inches south side of Richmond, 3 inches here, 4 inches in Emporia, Rocky Hill, South Boston, Greensboro, that sort of stuff. And then the good snow also 3 to 6 inches possible in the Delmarva, which would not surprise me at all. And this is the 18Z GFS ensemble mean. A not bad forecast for the 18Z GFS, not my favorite model in the world, but this is pretty close to what the European is showing. It's got a little more precip up into New Jersey and Philly and Boston. Would not be surprised if that happens. Going to be a very sharp cutoff here. I don't know if the snow is going to get past Philly or just into Philly. Very sharp cutoff to the northwest of New York. Very sharp cutoff north and west of Philly. Very sharp cutoff of Washington, D.C. and Charlottesville. So keep that in mind. Notice where the 4-inch band is. Best 4-inch band, South Hill, Boston, Nottoway, Dinwiddie, towards Greensboro, that sort of thing. Just to the south and west of Richmond, Virginia. Now, as you go beyond that, there's another system for the one I've been talking about for December 12th and 13th. And this upper air map shows us briefly what happens here. Okay, there's the system right here dropping down. The big ridge is pushing up this direction. Blast on all the way up to the North Pole, and this piece of energy here begins to slide down, follow the blue arrow, swing in this direction. And by the time we get to Wednesday morning, December 13th, the trough, you see the red line, is gone negative. That's what I'm talking about. A negatively tilted trough. Northwest to southeast, a negatively tilted trough. And they have some sort of, there's the Vort Max at the bottom there, some sort of low pressure developing, and it goes up the east coast. That's potentially what could happen here. There's a lot of support for it. This is what it looks like on the surface map, the operational European. The low is a little further south today over Virginia, and then it deepens off the mid-Atlantic coast. And it becomes a huge storm up in southeastern Canada. Look at that. Nice big storm on the evening of the 13th. And of course, what this does is that helps pull down buckets of cold air on the circulation behind it. A lot of cold air comes southward. The European ensembles show a significant system. Some of the lows are over Virginia, which might be good for Virginia, Maryland, if you like snow. A lot of them are off the Maryland, New Jersey coast and off of Cape Cod. So right now, we'll just go for potential for a significant winter storm. Could be rain and snow on the coast, could be snow inland. Don't know that yet, don't know which areas. Long way out, but we can detect with a pretty strong signal of something significant on the 12th or 13th. And then finally, beyond that, look at this baby. This is the day 10 European. I know, way out there, but a couple things to point out here. That low on the 12th, the one we just looked at here. Okay, this system moves up into Labrador and sits there. All right, and then we see that on the day 10 European. There it is in the northeast corner of the map. You can see it right here, right in this, right there. Boom. That's the 50-50 low. Now, this next piece of energy is the northern branch of the jet stream. Here's the ridge, still very strong. So this piece of energy slides down here. There it is. And then what is this over California? Now, that I don't know if that's real or not. If that's a strong piece of energy in the southern jet stream. These two features come together, they're going to go boom over the eastern United States and make a pretty daggum big winter storm sometime on the 16th or 17th. Now, this is 10 days out. A lot of the ensembles do not have that feature over California. So I don't know what to make of this. It's just something to watch for the time being. This is meteorologist DT. I'll see you on the Facebook page and the Twitter account in a little bit.